Okay, so these are the new components here. This is the idle arm that bolts up against the chassis. Alright, so I took the center drag link. Okay, this is all on now. Okay, so this is me underneath the vehicle. Okay, so first things first, let's remove all these split pins. Guys, welcome back to the channel and to another video. If any of you watched my previous video when I worked on the Isuzu bucket, when I changed the ball joints, you might have heard me mention that there was like a squeaky noise coming from the front suspension. I immediately thought it was the ball joints, because as I mentioned in the video, these buckets are quite notorious for bottom ball joint failures. Not really the top one, but the bottom one. So I decided I'm just going to change them all, which I'm sure you saw at the end of the video that it was a good thing that I did that, because the driver side one is actually quite bad. Probably just waiting. I probably had a few months in that before that it would have collapsed on me, which wouldn't have been too good of an experience. But anyway, after changing the ball joints, the squeak was actually still there, and I investigated a little bit further to discover that I had quite a bit of play on my steering mechanisms. Now this really doesn't have a steering rack as most conventional vehicles. They have like a different type of setup, which I will actually show you in a moment, and I'll show you what I'm going to change, and I'll take you through that journey. This is the first time, actually this is also the first time that I'm actually going to change this. I'm sure you'll notice when I show you that these actually seem like the OEM units that's actually still on the car. So to last for 23 years is brilliant. I'm going to put on aftermarket ones, and I hope I can get 5-6 years out of the aftermarket ones. If I can get 10, all the better. But anyway, let me just show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so this is me underneath the vehicle, and this is the steering box here. Then we have this link coming down. So this rod here going all this way to the other side here, that is what they call a center rod drag link. So when I play with my steering, then there's quite a bit of movement on this joint here. I can't exactly show you now, but there's quite a bit of movement on this joint here and on this joint here, and I'm assuming this is where the squeak is coming from. Now this rod I'm changing, which is a center rod drag link. Some people just call it a center drag link and leave the word rod out. And this is what I'm changing as well. This is what you call the idle arm. This unit here. This unit is bolted to the body on this side here by these 4 bolts here. That goes through the chassis member here and onto this idle arm here. So in order for me to get that off, obviously I have to loosen these bolts here. These are 14 millimeter bolts. This here is a 24. This here is a 19 on this link here. And this is a 14. This is a 24, and on the tire end is 22s. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to obviously spray some penetrant on the threads here, because this is all caked up threads. Let that work a little bit. And actually I can't spray much in it. This is a nylock nut here. Anyway, I'm going to spray some penetrant on here to let it work, and then I'll show you the new components. Okay, I'm back under. Let's just put some penetrant on these things.
Oh, okay.
On it. Alright, so that's all sprayed up now. I'll give it a few minutes on the side as well. And then I'll take it off. But let me just show you the new components. Okay, so these are the new components here. This is the idle arm that bolts up against the chassis. 4 holes there. And this here is the center drag rod link, or whatever, drag link, whatever they call this thing. Anyway, let's start on the job. Okay, so first things first, let's remove all these split pins. One here. Okay, that's that one out. Next I'm going to remove this one here. Actually, this one can actually stay. Once this rod is out, then I'm going to remove this off the rod. Or let's just take it off, seeing I am busy here now. Okay, that's that one out. Where else? Okay, there's nothing in this one though. That one's out. Nothing there. There's one here. Let's get that one out. Okay, let's just get this one out here. Okay, let's get that one out, right? And I don't think there's any more here. Okay, let's start loosening these things off. Okay, so this ball joint was actually a little bit of a bugger to get off the taper. So I actually used the heat gun and I heated up this section of the rod here. Just expanded this section a bit here. And then I smacked it from behind, like through this gap, like this way. Smacked it with a 4-pound hammer. And like a piece of steel or something, but I used the chisel, the blunt chisel. So she's actually free now. She's actually released. You can actually see the gap there. So I'm going to do the same on this side. There now. Then at least I know all the tie rod ends are loose. And then I'll loosen this off here. Because then once this is off here and the tie rod ends are off, then this rod, and I loosen this section of here, then this whole rod can come out with this shock absorber thing mounted to it. No, the shock absorber will be mounted to this. No, I'm lying to you. once I loosen this off against the body here, there's 4 bolts at the back here, and then all of this will come out with a shock absorber. So let me just take this other tied end off here quickly, and then this one here I'm going to take off, and then carry on. Okay, so this one actually, after I heated it up, it actually jumped off the taper. You can see this is free there. I didn't even have to heat it or anything like that, so that's quite cool. So that's loose now. So I'll carry on with the other stuff now. Alright, so the second one is also loose here. Remember, this is the one that's on the drag link, so this arms and stuff I'll take off once this rod is out of the car. So that one is off, and this one on this side here is also loose. Yeah, that's also loose there. Let's get this focused. There we go. That's also loose. Thyroid ends is out here, you can see here. That's out. So now I'm actually going to just heat up this side here with the heat gun. Let me just turn around. I'm going to heat this side up here with the heat gun, and I'm going to give this a smack here just to loosen this off here, because this side here, as I stated, that will come off with the idle arm, because that's part of the idle arm. So that will come off the idle arm, and once this is off, then I'll remove this from the idle arm over here. So anyway, let me just take this off. Alright guys, I got this one loose now, and obviously I thought I was actually recording this, but I didn't. So what I did is I heated this up again here with the heat gun, and then I gave it a couple of smacks here. So that's all loose there now. Can actually take this off. That's all loose. She will come out now once she's loose on the other side. This I'm going to loosen up once. I got this whole rod mechanism. Once I got all of this loose here, so I'm actually going to start loosening this up now, and then all of this should actually come out in one go. Okay, let me do this side. Okay, so this is the last bolt to come out here. It's already loose, so I must just actually take it out, and once it's out, I'm going to take that rod out, and then I'll show you it. Alright, so that's loose, and she's out. So yeah. So what I need to just say is that sometimes what I notice when you take this out, this ball joint fouls against the sashay, you know, and then you must just turn the steering, and then it will push this rod away from the sashay, then you can get that past. Okay, so now I'm just going to get this lot off, and actually see what the condition is like of these ball joints here, because I know they were quite loose when I tested them. Okay, let's take them to the workbench and get them off. Alright, so I took the center drag link out of the plastics. You can see this is the OEM one. Everything is much more bulkier. It's quite thin here, much smaller. But yeah, it's the world we're living in today. When the design is totally different. Seems like this is threaded or something, and they just turn the section in here, and then like whatever they done to it, crimped it, whatever, I don't know. Anyway, that's the new one. Like I said, I'm just going to take it off there. Then I'm just going to feel that joint, take that off there, and remove the shock. Okay, so I'm going to use the heat gun and heat this up here again, and then I'm going to give that a smack to get that out. Alright, that's out. I used that boy, smacked him out. Now I'm going to loosen this section of here, this here. Alright, so this is the idle arm that's off now. This is the shock that came, that's the original shock. When I feel it, she's not feeling actually too healthy. So I think I'm going to assemble this to get the bakkie back on the road. But I think this will be the next thing, the next item that I'll replace would be the shock. This I can do in situ. I don't need like to remove anything. I think this will be definitely be the next thing. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to install this onto the arm and then carry on with the other section. Okay, so that's that off. That obviously came out of there. It was like that. So now I want to put this arm now onto this new idle arm here, and then start assembling it. I'm not going to like clean all these things up here and make this black and make it all pretty. I'm just going to assemble it to get this, to get it going again. Okay. Alright, so I got everything now back onto the new components. But what I realized when I put this on, I actually nipped it up. Then I realized that this can actually be in any position. So my advice to anybody that may want to use my video as a tutorial to do this is to keep this on loose, so there's actually movement in there. And then once this is in position, once this is in situ, and this is linked up, that that's linked up, and this side here is linked up to the other end, and then I would say start nipping everything up, because then it's in situ as it must be. So anyway, let me stick this back into the vehicle. Alright, first things first, I'm going to stick this thing in, and then I'm going to add this on. I took this back off again because otherwise there's just more things hanging off this. So I'm going to stick this in first with the 4 bolts, and yeah, then I'll add all the rest in. Okay, this is all on now. This 4 bolts is in, the bracket is on, as you can see there. This is all loose, everything is loose. I'm going to stick the center drag link in now. This bar I'm going to stick in now. Put everything loosely on and then start nipping up. Okay, so that's it all in. Tire ends on, split pin is in. You can see there. This is on, that's on. It seems like I'll have to replace the tire ends. But anyway, everything is on. New idle arm, new bar here. I'll have to replace these tire ends, especially these inner ones on both. They're not exactly the most stiffest, and this one's boot is also all loose here, so I'll have to replace that sometime. Okay, so that's the job done. I suppose, if, like I said, if you want to use this as a tutorial, then I'd suggest you put everything on without tightening things up. Everything on. All these things besides the tire ends. This you must put last on. But you put all these things on, and then you gradually pull them all simultaneously tight. And then you move the steering inside the vehicle, get somebody to move the steering so that the tire ends can line up. And then you put the tire ends in and nip that up. I think that's the best to do this job. Anyway, that's done. Yeah guys, so anyway, so I'll be taking this vehicle on a test drive sometime, and I'll see if that clinging noise is gone, because I actually do think that was coming from this idle arm and draggling bar connection here, which I kind of noticed there was a bit of funny movement. I couldn't pick it up when it was out, but I could pick it up when it was in the vehicle. So anyway, that's the job done. Yeah, so if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. You can comment and share, hit the notification bell, subscribe, blah blah blah, to watch all my other videos. I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers for now.